So welcome to 2025 everyone, this is the Ninch Movies. I'm going to be starting the year off with a movie review. It's been several months since my last movie review and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favourite IPs of all time, that being Wallace and Gromit. It has been years upon years since Matter of Loaf and Death. I've watched this franchise ever since I can remember. It's one of my favourite claymation films and series of all time, as well as just one of my favourite IPs in general. Nothing screams English television like Wallace and Gromit. This is actually the 6th Wallace and Gromit film and only being its 2nd feature-length film. Obviously The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I will get into whether I think this film is better than that film, but just to have, 2025 starting off with new Wallace and Gromit, it is a pleasure. Now this movie and this movie review from me personally is coming from a fan, of course, but the reviews across the board have been extremely positive, which is good because Netflix normally is producing nothing but garbage. This is a welcome addition to my Netflix subscription. As soon as I saw the trailer debut, I knew I was in for a treat here. I could not wait for this film to release. The plot of this in particular film is Wallace invents a robotic garden gnome, Norbert, and creates a business hiring it out to work in people's gardens. The film also features the return of fan favourite Feathers McGraw, aka the Penguin, apprehended by Wallace and Gromit after stealing the blue diamond. Basically a revenge story for Feathers McGraw. He wants to get revenge on Wallace and Gromit and of course obtain this blue diamond that he couldn't many years ago. I just want to start this review off by just talking about the breathtaking animation in this film. I'm a huge fan of claymation in general. Aardman does it best. I do believe that the Chicken Run sequel that came out last year was, while not my favorite film of all time, a beautiful masterpiece, but this even improves on that in my personal opinion. The textures are just so goddamn real. There's just little things that I like when a character will drop a coffee per se, and because it's clay, the liquid it just has so much depth to it. I will also compliment the gnome's design being incredibly creepy. At the start of the film, you can see that it has like a child-friendly look to it, but there are some sinister looking scenes of these gnomes where it's straight out of like a animated kids horror film. I will say, other than Wallace and Gromit themselves, my personal favourite character of the film would have to be the head officer at the police department. I just love the fact that he just wants a quick retirement with nothing going wrong. He doesn't care about evidence. He's really just, done with his days of being a cop and he just wants to set sail on his boat and forget about everything. Any scene featuring Feather McGraw himself is just a standout. I love the ominous music. The music choices when he is on screen makes the film so much more enjoyable, so much more just, you enjoy the fact that he's built up as this James Bond-esque villain, but obviously it's a penguin wearing a stupid glove on his head. It's a tongue-in-cheek type villain arc, but the music behind him just builds him up and it sort of makes it, in a comedic way, believable. I also enjoy, as a fan of The Simpsons, as you guys all know, the mob mentality of the people in the neighborhood, always knocking on Wallace's door when something goes wrong and just, putting the blame on him. It's very Homer Simpson-esque and Springfield-esque, if you will. I can't really compare it to any other show where the mob mentality is this high. So obviously, as this franchise has gone on and on, Gromit is usually, the savior of the said films, or the said shorts. However, this one really puts it into motion how much of a Samwise Gamgee he truly is. Wallace really fumbles his way through the plot, and Gromit is really the only one that's getting shit done, getting to the bottom of, Feathers McGraw's plan. He is really the savior of this film, and there is some absolutely tear-jerking moments towards the end of this film. I won't spoil it, as it's brand new, it's fresh on Netflix. I want you guys to check it all out. But a scene towards the end, goddamn, I did not know Aardman could get me that teary. It was just a beautiful scene and a beautiful sort of friendship story of Wallace and Gromit. Wallace giving Gromit his props finally. There is also a scene in this film, there is a couple of references in this film where they reference the fact that this is a movie, and of course they reference old characters and other Aardman properties such as Shaun the Sheep, etc. But with the tongue-in-cheek look at the camera, I know it's a movie. This movie does its title. Wallace actually says vengeance most foul in this film, and usually that comes off as extremely corny. It's always the Family Guy scene that comes into my head.
Do it! Let's shave the cat! Oh boy, I usually only get this excited when they say the title of a movie in the movie.
I'm telling you, these drug dealers represent a clear and present danger to the United States.
Eh? He said it! He said it!
And Wallace does it in this film when he says the title. There's some real effort behind it. I didn't think it was corny at all. I actually thought it was really a cool reference. Overall, was it worth the wait? I'm going to just say a resounding yes. Obviously, while there has been half an hour shorts over the years, this is the second feature-length film from Wallace and Gromit, and I think obviously it shits all over the Chicken Run sequel that came out last year. Maybe it's because I enjoy the property more than I enjoy Chicken Run itself. Is it as good as Curse of the Were-Rabbit? That's the only feature-length film that we can compare it to. I'm simply going to say close but not quite, simply because Curse of the Were-Rabbit, one, it has nostalgia on its side now, it's been out for years. Two, Curse of the Were-Rabbit did so well simply for the fact that it was sort of a parody on monster films. It did that so well since it was actually going after a type of story that I know. I guess this was a James Bond-esque film, but I think they did the horror aspect in Curse of the Were-Rabbit so much better than this in particular film, but that's no fault to this film because Curse of the Were-Rabbit is untouchable. It was fantastic from start to finish. I had so much goddamn fun revisiting these characters again. I hope it's not their last journey. Whether it be another decade till I get my next one, it is what it is at this point. I'm just happy they're still making it. I'm happy that the claymation industry is just doing nothing but improving. I appreciate practical effects in every single film, and if you really look back to The Grand Day Out and you can see all the indents and the thumbprints, that is art itself. That is what they were capable of the time. Right now, claymation, this has to be one of the best looking claymation films I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Overall, I'm happy with the film. Do I need to score it? I think you guys heard it in my words. Go check out this film. It's one of the best things Netflix has going for themselves right now. Please leave this video a like, add it to your favorites, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have all had a great start to your 2025. I will see you with some future unboxings, some new videos very soon. This is the Ninch Movies, signing out. Skew!